This is your Adventist News, a service of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. I'm Adriel Hepburn. Coming up in the news, church leaders meet to make plans for our territory, the North Bahamas Conference elects new administration, and church focuses on persons with special needs. These stories and more on this week's Adventist News. You're watching Adventist News. Thanks for joining us this week. I'm Adriel Hepburn. Each week, we are delighted to bring you news from throughout our territory. So please, let us know what's happening at your church. Feel free to send us that information by email to the address sbcadventistnews@gmail.com or call us at 341-4021. The Atlantic Caribbean Union held a two-day conclave beginning on Wednesday, May 31st to June 1st on the island of New Providence at the Hillview Seventh-day Adventist Church on Tonic Williams-Darling Highway. The first session included members of ATCU from the territories within the Cayman Islands Conference, the North Bahamas Conference, the Turks and Caicos Island Mission, and the South Bahamas Conference, as well as the Northern Caribbean University, which is a tertiary institution in our region, jointly owned with the Jamaica Union. During this session, the mid-year reports of each field within ATCU was viewed, highlighting their accomplishments for the first half of the year. On day 2, the Executive Committee, which is the governing and policy-making body of ATCU, held its meeting at the Union's headquarters on Gladstone Road. The meetings focused on implementing key strategies in evangelism, education, membership retention, and stewardship, among many others. Under the theme, He Leadeth Me, Pastor T. Basil Stirrup of the Good News Adventist Church provided the devotional charge for the church leaders. Under the caption, Having a Vision for Victory, he spoke of how the Apostle Paul describes us in Romans chapter 8 as sheep for the slaughter, but in the same breath, he defines us as more than conquerors. He said that even though we may look like sheep for the slaughter, we are actually conquering lions through the power of Jesus Christ. The Executive Committee discussed and meticulously planned calendar items for the years 2018 and 2019 to allow the church at every level to better plan and strategize for more effective outcome. Major focus was placed on evangelism and the Lord Transform Me initiative leading up to 2019. The Inter-American Division of Seventh-day Adventists embarked on this initiative since 2015 and has requested various unions within the division to host a significant evangelistic reaping campaign during this period. Therefore, in the spring of 2019, the host union will be our union, and there are plans to have over 60 evangelistic series with preachers, Bible workers, and leaders from all over the Inter-American Division throughout the fields of the Atlantic Caribbean Union. In membership retention, Pastor Peter Kerr, Executive Secretary of ATCU and Lord Transform Me Coordinator, presented a strategic initiative where there would be a constant follow-up with the newly baptized members, and he said that the area of retention will be present in all evangelistic incentives. Updates on the other areas of development discussed during these meetings, namely education, youth ministries, chaplaincy, evangelistic training, women and children's ministries, will be given at the local church level. The year-end meetings for the Atlantic Caribbean Union will be held in November 2017. On Sunday, June 4th, the North Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists held its 5th regular session at the Freeport Adventist Church in Grand Bahama. The constituency met in sessions to elect the administration for the term 2017 through 2021. Consequently, a new president, namely Pastor Eric Danny Clark, was elected along with returning Executive Secretary Pastor Andrew Burrows and Treasurer Tanya Palmer. Pastor Clark was preceded by immediate past President Pastor H. Roger Monker. According to the Special Needs Department of the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, about 15% of the Adventist church population comprises individuals with special needs. Desmond Brown has been serving as elder at the Philadelphia Adventist Church in Nassau for quite a number of years, and he is blind. On June 3rd, Elder Desmond Brown presented a sobering message to the congregation of the Good News Adventist Church at their Special Needs Sabbath, which was the first of its kind in our conference. He spoke of the many challenges persons with disabilities face in our churches and society. Jesus sees all as important and able to play an essential part in our society, Brown said. He encouraged the audience to see the capability in such persons and not the inability, and stated that the barriers that persons set up toward others with disability is because of ignorance and lack of education and insensitivity. Young Sinead Thomas also presented on the special Sabbath, further encouraging the congregation to follow God, who taught us how to truly love one another. The Special Needs Sabbath was hosted by the Children and Adolescents Department of the church, who welcomed over 10 persons with disabilities to worship with them. Also joining in this initiative was the CHAM director for the South Bahamas Conference, Joan Scavella, who commended the local CHAM leader, Marcia Thomas, along with pastor and officers for initiating the service. The worship service was followed by a fellowship time and a presentation was made to one of the guests. Today, the Seventh-day Adventist Church has made it its mandate to ministering to all of God's children, and those with special needs are being recognized as equal in the sight of God. When we come back, we'll have more on the upcoming events in the South Bahamas Conference. Stay with us.
In spite of all that has gone wrong with marriages, it is still the gold standard of relationships. Join us on November 10th through 12th, 2017 at the Malia Hotel and Resort for Winning Your Marriage Conference.
A dress doesn't wear you. You wear a dress, and hence it's what you put into this dress that brings out its best features.
To spend quality time with your spouse, you have to do with her what she enjoys.
Change can lead what? To divorce. One or both of the married partners get tired of the emotional wear and tear of their relationship. They're tired. No one is changing.
Just like you pray for a job, just like you pray for other stuff, God will give you power to make sure that the sexual experience is the best possible experience and both of you are satisfied. God bless you.
Visit www.winningyourmarriage.com or call the South Bahamas Conference office for more information. It's a South Bahamas Conference family ministry event. Register now.
Welcome back to your Adventist News. I'm Adriel Hepburn. Thanks for watching. Here are some of the events coming up in the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. Camp meeting is just around the corner, and it promises to be the spirit-filled time. You are asked to start planning now to be a part of this experience. An official launch of our multi-purpose building, Adventure in Faith, will take place. The coordinator for camp meeting, Pastor Barrington Brennan, is here to give us more on what we can expect at this year's event.
Yes, there are 5 workshops, and we have actually invited 2 overseas guest presenters. Pastor Lael Caesar will be focusing on the young adults and the youth. Apologetics of the Adventist Church is going to be exciting, stimulating on subjects we know the young people want to hear. Simultaneously will be Dr. Orlean Brown Earl. She'll be dealing with mental health, parenting, living a mentally well, socially well balanced life. And that's Sunday to Thursday. Then we have Warren Johnson, who is going to do on defense, talking about personal defense, managing yourself, taking care of yourself in this very violent world we live in. And then we have Randy Johnson, who's going to actually teach individuals about skills of defending ourselves. Now, we have one more workshop that has a few speakers in that workshop. That's for the children on 14 years and under, coordinated by our Children's Ministries Director, Jones Cavala. So there are a number of speakers there that one each evening that's going to bring excitement to the children, 14 and under, during camp meeting. All of these workshops will be in the classrooms at Bahamas Academy between 6:35 and 7:35 each evening.
Can you tell us about the food that's going to be at camp meeting? Is there going to be some good food?
Oh yes, there will be delicious food provided by the Adventist Mass Youth Choir, coordinated by Monique McKenzie. They are raising funds for their mission trip this year, and so each evening from 5 o'clock to 7:30 and from 9 to 9:30 you can come and get a hot meal. Wonderful, delicious vegetarian meal and a drink, items by item. And by the way, if you want to know the menu, you can go on the Adventist website at www.southbahamasconference.org, and it's right there. Then on Sabbath, this is important, Madam Starp, on Sabbath you have to buy your tickets by the Thursday of the camp meeting for $11 for the Sabbath meal.
The Tacoma Academy Chorale and Concert Band of Tacoma Park, Maryland, will be in Nassau on concert tour from June 7th to 13th. This award-winning choir boasts a varied repertoire and has inspired audiences throughout the United States and internationally, including Jamaica, Bermuda, and Canada. The choir's goal is to pursue excellence through training in music performance and music in worship and ministry. While in Nassau, the choir and band will minister on Saturday, June 10th at the Grantstown, Agape, and Message of Hope Adventist churches during the Sabbath school hours, and the New Providence and Living Faith churches during the Divine Worship service. On Saturday evening, June 10th, at 6 p.m., a grand concert will be presented at the Centerville Adventist Church on 5th Terrace, Centerville. Please take note of these year-end activities for Bahamas Academy. On Friday, June 9th, the Secondary Division will hold their baccalaureate service at the Hillview Adventist Church at 7 p.m. On Monday, June 12th, the promotion service for the Early Learning Center and the Elementary Division will be held at the Loyola Hall on Gladstone Road at 9 a.m. The graduation service for the Secondary Division will also be held at Loyola Hall on Monday, June 12th at 1 p.m. A call goes out to all college and university students and potential 2017-2018 enrollees to meet at the Hillview Adventist Church on Saturday, June 10th at 5:30 p.m. Topic: Jobs in Demand. Come and discover what career to study, how to write a resume, and prepare for a job interview and secure a job. Free job application forms and other surprises await you. Hashtag PCM Ambassadors. And make plans now for the second annual Youth Vegan Cook-Off sponsored by the Health Ministries Department of our conference on June 25th from 10 in the morning to 1 p.m. at the Bahamas Academy on Marshall Road. All interested persons, ages 10 to 17 years old, are asked to sign up with your local health director or call the conference headquarters for more information on this event at 341-4021.
Cholesterol is a fatty substance that is essential for the body. Too much cholesterol in the blood can cause health problems. Cholesterol is a fatty substance produced naturally by your liver and found in your blood. The two main types of cholesterol are low-density lipoprotein, LDL, also known as bad cholesterol, which increases your risk of getting coronary heart disease. Also, high-density lipoprotein, HDL, also known as good cholesterol, because it helps to protect you against coronary heart disease. Most people with high cholesterol feel perfectly well and often have no symptoms. Therefore, the best way to find out if your cholesterol is high is to have a blood test. Making lifestyle changes, especially changing some of the foods you eat, is very important to help to reduce high cholesterol or LDL cholesterol. Some tips are: use oil spreads and margarines made from canola, sunflower or olive oil, and dairy blends that have earned the Heart Foundation tick instead of butter. Use salad dressings and mayonnaise made from oils such as canola, sunflower, soybean, olive, sesame, and peanut oils. Have 2 to 3 servings of 150 grams each of oily fish every week. Snack on plain unsalted nuts and fresh fruit. Eat plenty of vegetables. Choose whole grain bread, cereal, pasta, rice, and noodles. Limit fast food consumption and limit salty, fatty, and sugary snack foods. I'm Kenesha Henson, and this has been your health tip, courtesy of Adventist Television. And remember, God wants us to prosper and be in good health.
We go now to the Adventist News Network for our news feature from around the world.
Religious leaders, U.S. government officials, diplomats, and religious liberty advocates gathered in Washington, D.C. on June 1st to celebrate the 15th Annual Religious Liberty Dinner. The dinner is held every year to celebrate and bring attention to freedom of religion and belief around the world. This year's featured speaker was Ben Carson, head of the Department of Housing and Urban Development in the United States. Carson spoke on the importance of religious communities and advocates to speak up for those who can't speak for themselves. Special honorees this year included Thomas Farr, president of the Religious Freedom Institute, and Kimberly Colby from Christian Legal Society Center for Law and Religious Freedom. Ted Wilson, president of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, spoke to ANN about why events like this are important.
It's vital that Seventh-day Adventists share with not only the congregations within the church, but outside, publicly, the very great importance of freedom of conscience and religious liberty. and that this is something that is ongoing all the time. Today we just had a wonderful meeting in terms of focusing on the Protestant Reformation and its connection with freedom of conscience. We're having this special dinner, Liberty Dinner, to help accent this very important aspect of religious liberty. August 22 to 24, there's going to be an International Religious Liberty Association Congress. I mean, everybody ought to get involved, whether it's the local church or in a larger setting, in helping people understand this precious gift from God. And it's for all people.
The Religious Liberty Dinner is sponsored each year by the International Religious Liberty Association, the North American Religious Liberty Association, Liberty Magazine, and the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Well, that's all for this week's Adventist News in the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. On behalf of the production team of Adventist Television, Channel 658, we say thank you for watching, and join us next time. I'm Adriel Hepburn. Have a happy Sabbath.